Welcome back. The modular type is something that some of you may have worked with, but I thought this would be a really direct way of thinking about type and characters and how we build things and design it. And so P22 is the name of those modular blocks that we have in the shop, but they also sell a digital kit, which is what I've copied off here so you can see how all the different characters can work together to create either like designs. You can see that there are also alphabets. I did this in color so you can at least see how some of the colors could overlay. You can see some back patterns here, but also there are some sheets that have a grid on them. And so we can work with that. We'll have all that handy. I have some sheets ready to go. I'll turn that so I have something to work with. I just wanted to show you how to work with a stencil. So when you got your stencil, it has these little paper bits. All you have to do is peel those off. Sorry, ran out of time, couldn't get to all of that. But you will need to make sure that those little pieces have been peeled off properly because it's going to allow you to do your designs a little bit more fluidly. I do have one ready to go, and you can see it's all transparent, but the neat thing about the stencil is that there is some light etching in there that completes those square shapes, and that's how it's going to line up with the grid. So if I decide that I want to utilize this here, I'm going to use a red color. Stay on the inside. You can see that I've got some marks there. Now, if I wanted to repeat that, I'm switching to a heavier flare, I can just line this up and do it again. You can see that it's a little bit clearer. Now, from here, I can decide, well, what do I want to do with that letter form? And I may decide, well, I want to close this off. So I'm choosing a different pencil, or stencil, sorry. You can see that it makes that continuous shape. And then we also have some wonderful curved shapes. So you can just line up that square with the etched square with the grid. And I'm going to do the one but right below it next to it. And then I'm going to turn this so I can have a closed shape. Sorry, I got a little rambunctious there. But you can see that I have a rudimentary B. And so what I could do is I can color this in. That way I get a better sense of what that's going to look like as a solid form. And you're welcome to use any sort of drawing materials that you might have available. And there you go. I'm sure you can do a much better job than I did, but it gives you an idea. And you can even use the different colored markers to line up, to have different patterns, and maybe fill in the inside and playing around with different forms. Have fun! So you can see what I created just utilizing the stencil and the drawing tools that you see before you, the two Sharpies and the pencil.